welcome back to the Batting Zone. Thanks for watching tonight. I'm gonna get into this rabbit hole, man. It goes pretty deep, man. Goes pretty deep. But I'm gonna bring you some stuff on the BlackRock company and all their ties right back to the shooter. I mean, it's crazy. I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that BlackRock had anything to do with Donald Trump's assassination attempt. But the boy that did has got ties to the BlackRock company. So once again, thanks for joining in and watching this documentary. And the first thing I want to do is teach those that don't know exactly who the BlackRock company is. So kick back, enjoy, and here's the BlackRock company.
One-tenth of a year's global economic activity. That means the money managers at BlackRock have a big say in how the world runs. Here's CEO Larry Fink talking to CNBC in 2021.
And I've been on your show now probably 4 times every year at the very least for 22 years as a public company, and even longer when we were private, talking about retirement.
BlackRock is indeed influential. In the US, it owns at least 5% of most major companies. That gives the firm lots of voting power to determine how public businesses operate. BlackRock rose to the top of the financial system in a short span of time. After its IPO in 1999, its stock has increased 7,539% through December 2020. Along the way, the company used technology to minimize the risks of investing.
BlackRock, as well as the other ETF providers, have done a great job in bringing a product to investors that provides diversification in investment portfolios at a relatively inexpensive price. And I think there's good reasons for them having grown to scale.
According to BlackRock, risk management today means adapting to the changing climate.
The largest oil and gas producers and the largest carbon emitters are state-controlled enterprises.
Their leadership has the sway to push global institutions into action.
BlackRock's relationship with the Fed is a really useful thing for the public to know about. The central bank can do things to make our lives better, and it can do stuff to make some people really rich.
Here's how BlackRock shot to the top of the financial industry. The company we know today as BlackRock was formed in the late 1980s. A young Larry Fink launched a firm under the Blackstone Investment Group with 7 co-founders. Fink's team came together under the management of Steve Schwarzman.
We started the business together in around 1988, 89, and they wanted to sell it 4 or 5 years later.
After the sale, BlackRock spent years developing a risk management software that they call Aladdin. Aladdin uses a Monte Carlo-styled algorithm to uncover scenarios in which an investment could fail.
Over the last really 20 years, financial markets have become much more complex. Volumes have increased exponentially. At the same time, we've had an explosion in computing power. Chips have become so much more powerful and expensive. The combination of financial markets needing increased technology and there being cheap, inexpensive ways to really scale up technological innovations has led to sort of the confluence of things like cryptocurrencies, robo-advisors, and even more basic things, simply like equity markets being almost completely electronic now.
BlackRock's tech-driven approach made it a major firm. Over time, their managed assets swelled, and the company started to buy out its competitors. In 2006, the firm acquired the distressed assets of Merrill Lynch, and in 2009, it took over Barclays Global Investors. At the time, BGI owned the intellectual property rights of iShares. Today, that brand is one of the most heavily traded names in the stock market. About 3 million shares of its fund tracking the S&P 500 are exchanged every day. ETFs, or exchange-traded funds, are at the heart of BlackRock's empire. These funds have taken over investing in the past decade.
I think we can attest that growth to the attraction of ETFs as pooled investment vehicles that allow investors to diversify their portfolio. And diversification has been shown to be one of the key factors for investors to have a successful investment program.
You can think of ETFs as baskets of stocks based on themes. For example, BlackRock offers funds tied to corporations and small towns. They also issue funds that track oil and gas exploration and the defense industry. ETFs give investors a wide range of holdings at a low cost.
And just to give a sense of how low those costs can go, let's take, for example, BlackRock's S&P 500 exchange-traded fund. BlackRock is charging investors 30 cents a year on every $1,000 invested. And there's great competition among fund providers for low fees, and that's been a great thing for investors.
Just 3 companies dominate the ETF market.
BlackRock is by far the largest, with roughly a 35% market share of domestic market. The next 2 are Vanguard and State Street, both somewhere in, say, the 15 to 20% market share range.
ETFs reshaped financial markets in a short amount of time. More than 80% of all assets invested over the past decade have gone to one of the big 3, according to legal scholars writing in the National Bureau of Economic Research. Experts say the financial and technology industries lend themselves to concentration.
Competing S&P 500 index funds, they're all holding essentially the same portfolio, and so they're all going to earn essentially the same return before costs. So from the investor's perspective, the best thing to do is to buy the one that passes through the least amount of expense to you. And because of economies of scale, that's generally going to be the largest.
All right. At least you now you know a little bit more about BlackRock. BlackRock is a very large corporation. Matter of fact, they, like he said, they own about 5% of all the major corporations in America. And they're very much into AI, and that's what I'm going to show you now. A little trailer to the kind of stuff. This is animated. It's futuristic, and they're not putting age restrictions on it. So in other words, they're putting this all across the world now, not just America, all across the world, to yours, mine, everybody's children, grandchildren. Just a little more information about exactly who BlackRock is. Check it out.
「人類を救え」と言われてもなんだかピンとこなかった。困っている人たちを見捨てるような人間ではなかった。そう思いたいの。だからやる。もう逃がしませんわ。これが私の愛です。エンプレスブラックロックシューター。この痛み、断片的な記憶、この苦痛はお前のせいなんだろう、エンプレス。うがって世界線天空を描き、報われぬ想いの亡き殻を抱きしめる歌の果て、夢の種、産声を待っている。満たされず明かりを奪い合う戦や黒金は舞い続ける。巡る脈動が消えるまで。
Okay, now you really know who BlackRock is. And they got real heavy ties with the Chinese Communist Party. China. Hey, y'all be careful. This is the part we're going around these curves, and there's a big drop-off into this rabbit hole. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to show you now. Who is Thomas Matthew Crooks? You know, who is he? Where did the guy come from? What's his tie to BlackRock? And then what's their tie to the building that he made the shots from on Donald Trump's life? And what's the CIA say about all this stuff? Y'all, food for thought. Food for thought before we dive into this. Food for thought. I'm not saying any way, shape, or form that the CIA or BlackRock is has anything to do with this, but this is, I'm giving you the information. You determine yourself what you think. It's really deep. This rabbit hole is deep, and there's so many people involved, and I'm just showing you the ties that they all have. Kick back, enjoy, and I'm going to show you who Thomas Matthew Crooks is. Check it out.
Motive of 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, here are the facts we've been working to verify.
Thomas Crooks.
Crooks graduated from Bethel Park High School in 2022, earning a $500 prize for math and science. This video from the school's YouTube shows him receiving his diploma. Rumors of how Crooks identified on the political scale are unclear. Here's why. We verified that he donated $15 to a liberal campaign group on January 20th, 2021, the first day President Biden took office. But 8 months later, he registered to vote as a Republican. Looking into political court records in Pennsylvania, there have been no past adult criminal cases involving Crooks. The Associated Press says he was not previously known to investigators in his county and was not on their radar. Misinformation and theories about the shooting have been circulating online, from the motive to security lapses, even misidentifying the shooter. During a news conference Sunday, President Biden warning Americans to not believe everything being put out and let the investigation speak for itself.
I urge everyone, please, don't make assumptions about his motives or his affiliations. Let the FBI do their job.
Probably asking yourself right now, okay, he graduated high school, he donated to Act Blue, 8 months later registered as a Republican. Well, what has that got ties to BlackRock or any of it? I'm going to show you. Check it out.
I teach AP and honors economics in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Financial well-being to me is knowing that I can be free to do the things that I love to do. I hope when I retire someday, they say, you know, that guy made this place a special place to come to school and gave as much as he could to help the community.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's plenty of students that are in that little video clip, in that ad for BlackRock. They're in the education, they're in the teaching kids, and it's the craziest thing, and they picked him to be in that video. You know what I'm saying? In that ad. It ain't a very long ad, but there's some other ones out there that's floating around the internet, but that's who Thomas Matthew Crooks is. 20 years old, from Pennsylvania. And let's just see what the CIA has to say about all the situation. We all know the building that he was on top of, but let's see what the Secret Service has to say about, you know, everything, the whole thing, all the conspiracy theories, all of it. Check it out.
Continue here with the news tonight. There are fast-moving developments after the assassination attempt tonight. Remarkable new images here. The alleged gunman seen climbing to the roof just minutes before opening fire at that rally. You can actually hear people in the crowd yelling to an officer, pointing him out. And now we learn that law enforcement was actually using that building as a staging area, and how the gunman climbed onto the roof, the wall outside that building. And ABC's Pierre Thomas tonight with the exclusive interview with the head of the Secret Service and what she's saying now.
Stunning new video tonight showing the moment Donald Trump's would-be assassin climbed onto the roof of that building just 2 minutes before he opened fire.
Yeah, look, there he is.
You can hear bystanders desperately trying to alert police. Authorities now using that video as part of the investigation. And tonight, ABC News has learned that heavily armed local police were stationed inside that building and missed Thomas Crooks climbing up the outside of the building to the roof. The same building was being used as a staging area for local police, according to 2 law enforcement officials. And Butler Township officials are confirming ABC News' reporting that a local police officer climbed up the roof and confronted Brooks moments before the shooting.
The officer grabbed hold of the edge of the building, pulled himself up to be able to look, and according to what he's told me, shooter turned, rifle was pointed at the officer. The officer, defensive move, kind of ducked, fell, lost his grip on the building.
Investigators tonight trying to determine whether roof access had been properly locked down. The shooter climbing seemingly unimpeded about 400 feet from the stage with a direct line of sight on the former president.
Take a look at what happened.
In Washington, lawmakers demanding answers, calling on the Secret Service director to appear before Congress. We sat down with Director Kim Cheadle today for an exclusive interview.
What was your reaction when you saw the events unfold on Saturday?
Shock, and then concern, obviously, for the former president. This is an event that should have never happened.
Who is most responsible for this happening?
What I would say is that the Secret Service is responsible for the protection of the former president.
So the buck stops with you?
The buck stops with me. I am the director of the Secret Service. It was unacceptable, and it's something that shouldn't happen again.
The President and Homeland Security Secretary said today they had 100% confidence in you, but there are some members of Congress calling on you to resign.
I appreciate the Secretary's comments, and we're going to continue to be transparent and communicate with people.
You plan to stay on, absolutely.
I do plan to stay on.
Director Cheadle says she will not wait on an independent review of the security failure. She says she plans to make immediate changes. We learned today she's already expanded the tactical or SWAT support for former President Trump. David?
Pierre Thomas here in Milwaukee with us. Pierre, thank you.
Stop touching me. Stop.
Okay, let's review what we know so far. We know that Thomas Matthew Crooks, is a shooter. We know he has ties to BlackRock. And now I'm going to bring together the ties between BlackRock and that building. But before I do, I want to talk about it. This goes deeper a little bit each time. Now we know local law enforcement notified the Secret Service that they didn't have the manpower to cover that building. But yet they had people like SWAT people inside the AGR building. I mean, the Secret Service, there's so many hands involved in this, it's crazy. But here's the thing that I'm looking at is we definitely know somebody tried to kill Trump. We definitely know it was Thomas Crooks was the shooter, and he has ties to BlackRock. And how far does this thing go? How deep does this go? But let me show you exactly the ties to that building, the AGR building, to BlackRock. The BlackRock company and the tie to AGR. Check it out. Okay. The address to that building, AGR International, is 615 Whitestown Road, Meriden, Pennsylvania, which is aka the same thing as Butler, Pennsylvania. You can read above me. It is owned, AGR International, acquired by Indicor. This is a merger and acquisitions. Engagement overview. Industry group. Industries area of focus. Industry technologies. Harris Williams advised. AGR International, a leading provider of quality and process control technologies, serving beverage packaging customs globally on their sale to Indicor LLC. Indicor is a company of Clayton, Doubler, and Rice, and Roper Technologies. I mean, this gets deep. Hold on a minute. I got more. Okay, so AGR is owned by, acquired by Indicor. Indicor was acquired by, or is a company of Clayton, Doubler, and Rice, and Roper Technologies. But check out what else is involved.
CD&R is a global investment firm that helps build valuable businesses, managing capital for a broad range of investors, including educational endowments, philanthropic groups, and pension funds that support retired teachers, nurses, and firefighters. CD&R is committed to being a trusted and constructive partner. And CD&R helps corporations, families, and management through our insights and expertise. And values matter to us.
Purposeful.
Loyalty.
Respect.
Deliberate.
Tenacious.
Invigorating. Steadfast.
Courage.
Creativity.
Solution-oriented.
Ambition.
Trust.
Consistency.
Candor.
Collegial.
Collaborative.
Family. Perseverance. Passion. Integrity. Teamwork. And we are CD&R.
All right. Clayton, Doubler, and Rice LLC was established in 2022, and their largest stockholder, however you want to word, which is their owner, is no other than BlackRock Corporation. And in case you don't quite remember who BlackRock was or is, I'm gonna as soon as we get done with this clip, I'm gonna re-jar your memory. But let's take a visit out to the actual 615 Whitestown Road in Butler, Pennsylvania. Let's dive in. What you're looking at here is Google Earth Pro, and this building where the shooter's location, it's going up and down there, getting bigger and smaller, is owned by AGR International Incorporated. 615 Whitestown Road, Butler, Pennsylvania 16001 is the address, and this was the shooter's location. And down here in the red, it's blowing up and down, getting larger and smaller. This is where Trump was, and that yellow line there from building to building is approximately 177 yards. So I don't know their exact locations. He could have been down on this building, but so that math works out as to the distance in the shot. These are you can blow this thing up. I mean, you can get really crazy with Google Earth. But I just wanted to see that to verify kind of that distance. It's amazing. Technology today is amazing. That's what this one's all about. Is now I'm gonna get more into AGR International Inc. and who owns them, who owns them, and we'll go right back to BlackRock. All right, I'm going to show you just a little bit of the first clip, just to remind you, instead of you backing up and zeroing, figuring out exactly who they were and what they said about BlackRock. So I'm going to play a little bit of that for you, and I'll see you on the other side.
That means the money managers at BlackRock have a big say in how the world runs. Here's CEO Larry Fink talking to CNBC in 2021.
And I've been on your show now probably 4 times every year at the very least for 22 years as a public company, and even longer when we were private, talking about retirement.
BlackRock is indeed influential. In the US, it owns at least 5% of most major companies. That gives the firm lots of voting power to determine how public businesses operate. BlackRock rose to the top of the financial system in a short span of time. After its IPO in 1999, its stock has increased 7,539% through December 2020. Along the way, the company used technology to minimize the risks of investing.
BlackRock, as well as the other ETF providers, have done a great job in bringing a product to investors that provides diversification in investment portfolios at a relatively inexpensive price. And I think there's good reasons for them having grown to scale.
According to BlackRock, risk management today means...
Well, what'd you think about that one? I think it's interesting, very interesting. Y'all let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are. Make sure you give me a thumbs up on this video, and subscribe, follow, share, hit that notification bell when I drop another one. I think this is our JFK of these times. Here we are, 2024. JFK was what, 63? I don't think we'll ever find out any kind of answers as far as the Secret Service and law enforcement. But there sure are a lot of coincidences involved in this event. When I say event, I mean the assassination attempt of Donald John Trump. There are a lot of coincidences. BlackRock tied to the shooter, Thomas Matthew Cooks, ties to that building. BlackRock themselves was supposedly, they're large enough. They pretty much control what goes on, and that's another rabbit hole I need to climb down, because BlackRock's been around quite a while, and they've gotten really big. But I just think the whole thing's, is it a coincidence or coincidences, or is it conspiracy theories? I'll leave that up to you to decide. I'll leave it up to you to decide. I really appreciate everybody being here, and like I said, leave me comments, give me a thumbs up, follow, subscribe, whatever platform you're seeing this on, and hit that notification bell. And for the next time we get ready to rumble in the jungle. Oh yeah, the batting zone. We're going deep inside these rabbit holes. I appreciate y'all all being here, and I'll see you on the next one.